This is one of the simplest setups I use to find trades. I only have two indicators on the chart, 9 EMA and 21 EMA. But crossover alone isn't what I'm trading. What makes this setup much better is combining it with Heiken Ashi candles and waiting for the cross to happen in the right area. Let me show you exactly what I mean. So first I'm using the 5-minute chart, and instead of using the normal candles, I'm using the Heiken Ashi candles. I like Heiken Ashi here because it makes the momentum much easier to read. Then I have two EMAs. The first one is 9 EMA and this one is 21 EMA. That's everything we need. Now look at what happens here. When the 9 EMA crosses above the 21 EMA, we're starting to get bullish momentum, so this can give us a possible buy. And when the 9 EMA crosses below the 21 EMA, we're getting a bearish momentum, so we can start looking for a sell. For example, right here, we get the bullish cross, and look what price does after. Nice move to the upside. Then over here we get the bearish cross, and again price start moving lower. So at first this looks really easy, just wait for the crossover and enter. But there is a problem. Look at this part of the chart. We get a cross here, then another one, then another one. Price isn't really going anywhere, and if you're taking every crossover in area like this, you're just going to keep getting caught in bad trades. So I don't use the crossover by itself. What I'm really looking for is a crossover that happens from an important area on the chart. Let me show you. Look at this area. Price comes into this level and pushed higher, then it reacted from around the same area again. So now if price comes back here, I'm interested. But I'm not buying just because it touched support. I'm waiting for confirmation. Look at the candles as price comes into the level. We're still bearish here. So there is no reason to buy it. But then the candles start changing. We start getting bullish candles. So momentum is turning. And then right here, the 9 EMA cross above the 21 EMA. Now I have everything I want. We're at support. The Heiken Ashi candles are turning bullish, and then EMA have crossed. That's the buy setup. So I can enter once the crossover is confirmed. For the stop loss, I'm not putting it randomly under the EMA. I'm putting it below the support here. Because if price breaks below this area, my idea is probably wrong anyway. And for the target, I'm looking toward the previous high. So now let's see what happens. So as you can see, price pulls back a little, then continue higher and reaches the target. That's the type of crossover I'm interested in. Not every cross, a cross that happens from an area where I already want to trade. Now let's look at the exact opposite. Over here, we have an area where price rejected before, so I'm going to mark this as a resistance. Again, I'm not selling immediately. Look at this Heiken Ashi candles, we're still bullish here. So I'm waiting. Then we start getting bearish candles, and right here the 9 EMA crosses below the 21 EMA. Now the setup makes sense. We're at resistance, Heiken Ashi is showing bearish momentum, and we have the bearish crossover. So this is where I would start looking for a sell. Stop loss is above this structure, and I'm looking toward previous low for the target. And you can see price continue lowards and hit take profit. Now compare that with this. We have an EMA cross right here, but I wouldn't take this. There is no clear support or resistance around the entry. We're basically in the middle of the market, and look at the Heiken Ashi candles. Green, red, and green again. There is no clear momentum, so I don't care that the EMA is crossed, I just keep it. That's really important with this strategy. The crossover should be the confirmation, it shouldn't be the reason you're taking the trade. There is one more thing I would like to check. I just zoomed the chart out. If the market is clearly pushing higher overall, I'm going to prefer bullish setups from support. And if the market is clearly moving lower, I'm going to prefer bearish setup from resistance. It doesn't need to be complicated. I'm basically trying to avoid fighting against the trend. So the setup is really simple. If I'm looking for a buy, I first want price around support. Then I want to see the Heiken Ashi candles start turning bullish. And finally, I want the 9 EMA to cross above the 21. For a sale is the opposite. Resistance, bearish high Ashi momentum, then the 9 EMA crosses below the 21. That's it. The biggest thing is not taking every crossover you see. Wait until the market comes to an area that actually makes sense. Then use the crossover as your confirmation. Try it on your charts and go through some previous setups before using it live. And if you want access to my Forex signals and mentoring, check the link below, and I see you in the next video.